Okay, I'm unmuting. Hell yeah. I can speak the words now. Let's put Discord over there. Oh, I can't put that like that. That's no good. Can't have that size and shape. Oh no. Okay, there we go. If I freeze. Oh no. Okay, cool, I have this. Don't need that folder open. I have this art open. It would help if I got my references open. I guess let's switch over to art cam then. Let's go. That over there just since I'm grabbing reference images. Oh. Paste that image into here. And grab this. Paste that image into here. Okay. Okay, sweet. Now we go. Oh, I could use the same tactic that I usually do, or that I did the other commission, where I put things over the areas that I didn't need. But I did put a lot of spare, like, space in this one. It's fine. Oh! Good morning! I see my VTubers already freaking out. There we go. If I'm sleepy, it's because I'm a dummy who doesn't know how to go to bed at a reasonable hour after D&D and just stays up watching Bloodborne memes. Basically got a crammed breakfast in my face while I was, watching Jacob from Drawfee play more Dark Souls 3, because I've been living off of those stream VODs. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You guys are in the same time zone as me, and it's already, like, you're up at crazy hours. Alright, I'm going with that version. I can delete that one. I didn't even name most of my layers here. Wow, I'm a bum. Line. What's that? Oh boy, we're starting off hot with line art this morning. I haven't warmed up at all. I'm gonna reset this. Why are you posed weird? Reset that position. There we go. That's normal. Oh! Welcome home from work, Stone Carver. You're probably sleepy, so I'm not too worried if you're like zonked. Sorry you showed up to my stream and I'm already playing weird like indie game music. Which I'm gonna turn down slightly in my ears. Oh, my hands are not ready to do line art this morning. VTuber, why? You know, I shouldn't have put this thing on, like, medium quality tracking, huh? Don't mind me. I'm gonna quit out of this and fix the tracking. Oh wait, I don't need to go into avatar selection. There we go. Cool. Oh, it won't let me change settings. Oh no, it does reset that though. Terrible. Okay, close enough. Seems like it's better now. Well, I mean, the VTuber is technically me. I'm just not used to that yet. I didn't get any tea because I was like feeling sleepy and gross before the stream, so I brushed my teeth. So I was like, oh shoot, now I can't go get tea. Because it's like, one, it doesn't do good with like after brushing your teeth. Scent? Taste? That's the word. And then, you know, eating a thing right after you brush your teeth isn't actually that good for your teeth either. I did all that work to get these references, and yet I didn't do this. Neat trick that I learned about Photoshop is you can open another instance of the same window. Mint tea after toothpaste is not a bad idea. I just didn't feel like going downstairs to go get a tea bag. I've used up all of my, like, bagged teas that I have upstairs. So I was like, no. I only have loose teas up there, up here right now. Hi. There we go. There we go. I know, right? I still have to bring you guys your Patreon goodies. I'll bring that down when I come visit. They've been sitting in, like, my inbox paper filer for, days? Months now? And I'm just like, I want to get rid of these. I don't know why this keeps making a sad face. I don't want to recalibrate it right now. I'm a bum. There we go. I'm kind of excited for whenever I get to the next Patreon milestone. Is that $100 a month? I'm like, yes, I can safely add $20 to a charity thing, which makes me happy. Oh, you got too much Earl Grey when it went on sale. Oh my. Well, I mean, I'll take Earl Grey. I mean, I'll take just about any tea. So. Nice. I'm glad that stream quality is good. Yay. And yeah, I don't see like a lot of folks with Patreon that do like this percentage goes to charity. Like I know the painted dog, Bonnie, she does like a certain amount of her pledges go towards other Patreon creators. But I wanted to do something like a charity thing. So. Yeah. Because I always feel bad that I can't regularly contribute, so I'm like, well, I might as well make that part of Patreon stuff. And that means also for anyone pledging, they're basically also helping regularly contribute. Oh, that monster emote is so cute! Oh, is that Venonat? That thing's so dang cute. I like don't know my way around Twitch at all, because I barely watch things live. Oh god, I forgot this song in this game. So the soundtrack that I'm listening to... Oh! Okay, yeah. Oh, those are lovely. They're adorable. What does she usually stream? Or them, sorry, I just realized. I don't know why, I was just like, Truxie, that's a feminine name. Nice. Nice. So in other words, it doesn't overlap with any of my stream days except for Thursdays. Actually, technically, it doesn't overlap with any of my stream days, because I don't stream on throughs. Nice, nice. I don't understand my skill level with games because I sat down to play Ori over the weekend when I was with my partner because like he really likes it and a couple of my friends do. but I could not wrap my head around it, even though it's a Metroidvania. And that's cool. I've still never played Among Us, and I haven't played Roblox in years. But yeah, I was saying, like, the games that I play, I can't function when it comes to playing Ori, but yet I've been, like, learning Bloodborne lately, which is one of the worst Souls games to start off with if you're new to it. But you know, that's fine. I don't think it's like any handedness setup. Most of my problems when I was playing it actually came down to the fact that they prioritized the game looking pretty over having clear designs. Like, it's really, really pretty, but like the enemies don't have a consistent color palette and they're just as detailed as the backgrounds, which is like really hard to tell apart when they want you to do things kinda quickly. Also, it just feels very floaty compared to Hollow Knight, which I don't like. Oh hey, cool, I drew the boy's head. Yeah, I mean, like, other people really, really like the games. Don't take my word for like, the overall, like, quality of the game. Ori is gorgeous, it has beautiful art and a beautiful soundtrack. But it's also... I'm dummy and can't read, like, things quickly on a screen if everything's too pretty and painterly. Oh yeah! I wanted to watch a playthrough of It Takes Two. I saw that, Secret Sleepover Society had it, like, archived. It was in, like, their VODs, and I've been meaning to, but Dark Souls. Yeah. Is that one VR? I don't think that's VR, because that would be weird to have a co-op VR game. Unless it was done like, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Okay. Yeah, I think Steam actually recently rolled out a thing that's really cool, that if a game has, like, local co-op, you can just play it with someone, which is super rad. I'm going nuts because my partner got, like, the Master Chief Collection on Steam, but they took local co-op out of it. So, like, I can't play the Halo games with him while I'm, like, at my house. Or at his house. So it's like, why? Why would you take local co-op out of Halo of all things? Especially because, like, we started Halo 2, but we never beat it, so... The sucky thing is we got decently far into it as well, so it would suck to replay that much of it. Ooh, is my hand warmed up to the point where I can have my smoothie at a normal percentage? Hell yeah. Eraser. Opacity off. There we go. Oh shit, this drawing's crooked. Gotten into the habit of tilting the canvas so that I can get things to, like, an angle that's easier to draw. Sometimes I just forget that the canvas is tilted sometimes. I'm like, why do my pixels look funny? And it's because they're not meant to display like that. Man, my brain was not doing when I sketched in this hair. I was just like, I'll just indicate some lines here and there. It'll be fine. I don't understand how I can simultaneously do such loose sketches and such tight sketches. I'm like, oh, I'll just noodle my way through this and then like the rest of it is super clear. Yeah. Huh? Probably I'm gonna need to open CSP to flat this, so I'll just get CSP started up now. So how are y'all doing this morning? God, why is the song so loud? Like, what, any fun plans? I swear, I'm gonna like disable the sad reaction on my VTuber. Oh, that's cool! That is super cool. I know I only got to go to like one of those, but the punk rock flea market was really cool. Sweet. Oh, nice. Nice. I actually haven't heard anything from my boss at the Ren Fair yet, so I don't know if she's doing, like, those events, or if she's, like, just covering them by herself. I'm sure if she needs someone, she'll ask me. But I'm also not too terribly worried since I have, like, thesis work to do this summer. Yay! Yeah, it's like... the Ren Fair is like a safe haven of rainbow flags out here. There's still people with some very questionable election signs up around here. I'm, like, not one to, like, commit vandalism or whatever, but I see some lawn signs in poor taste, and I'm just like, man, I've never wanted to, like, yank a yard sign out of someone's yard so bad before. Yeah, I might if I don't have anything going on. It's tough because I'm like, weekends are kind of my day to, it's like one day of the weekend because I moved like all my chores back to Sunday now that I don't have class on a Saturday again, so that I can hang out with my partner Saturdays. I'm like, since he's moving back home at the end of the summer to go to college, I'm like trying to get what I can, trying to get what time I can before he's far away from me again. Oh god, how did they get an election sign? Oh no. Oh yeah. He's just he's just going to Bucks to learn coding, because like we've all talked about wanting to make a game studio and whatnot, and aside from hating carpentry, like coding is just a good skill to make money nowadays. But in our group of folks who would like to make video games, we don't have like a coder yet, so he's like, well, I can do music and I have like the brain for coding, so, and I haven't already spent like 1,000,000 years, you know, learning how to draw. So, yeah. Hi, Gecko! It's all fine. It's super nice to have you here. Scarlet, look at you with the custom emotes. Or I just don't know how Twitch works. It's probably that. Okay, I did all of this. Okay, I do have to do the harder outfit now. Damn it. I didn't want to do the harder outfit. Oh, this sweet Smoochin' Feels is one of the Patreon commissions. Yeah, it's a commission for one of my patrons. And it's their OC and it's like their Sona OC and one of their other OCs. I think they're both Kingdom Hearts. It's great. Haha! Prime, that'll do it. I don't want to draw this shoulder pad. Fine. I'll draw the stupid shoulder thing. Why do I have that over there? You need this over here. Nope, they're not mine. Honestly, if I'm doing personal art lately, it's gonna be for Bleak Dawn, because I'm just legally required to draw fan art of the D&D campaign, or I'll, like, implode and die. Session last night was super fun. There. No. 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 Alright, screw it. Lazy Nizumi, get over here. Oh, yay! I'm glad people have been liking the shared session notes. I know I tend to write them in absolute nonsense. So that's a really good thing that people are liking it. It's really interesting when I look back at them and I'm like, oh, I've skipped a crucial detail about that session. Oopsies. That's fine. If it doesn't make sense, people will ask me, hopefully. The campaign has been, like, nuts, because it's like one of our players feels like he knows what the plot is and has told the GM, like, his entire guess for the whole campaign. And apparently he's not far off. And I don't think he'll ever watch this stream, which is why I can say that. Yeah, so that's a good old time. It's funny because GM left last night after the session ended, like left the Discord call, and then we all stayed on for another 20 minutes, like talking theories and whatnot. Like, we're going to predict your plot, Crank, which is one of the GM's many nicknames. Oh goodness, I usually actually remember to use my When the DM Smiles mug for D&D, but I haven't been thinking about it lately. What's great is because the DM is also my partner, so I can tell when he is fibbing. It's great. Also, yes, get yourself a circle ruler, Keiko. It's the best thing. The other thing you can do is, if you don't want to pay like 20 bucks for Lazy Nizumi once, like I did, I actually got it because it had perspective rulers and everything. And it usually fixes like any tablet driver issues I have. You can just put a thing on your drawing tablet and trace it. I mean, this is terrible because I'm like tracing the base, but yeah, you get the point. I learned that from one of my friends when we were in an animation class, and he literally just put a ruler on his drawing tablet to draw a straight line. I was like, what? You could just do that? Oh no, that's always a fun time when the party might not be the good guys. Our party is a mess in Bleak Dawn. It's like, Draper's neutral good, but she's definitely accidentally killed someone. Sod is, like, mustache-twirlingly evil and probably a low-key sadist. Char is our only overtly good dog, because he's a null. And then Still is a rogue. Enough said. Yeah. It feels like the ruler thing would be an obvious trick, but honestly it's not. So you're valid. Good, Keiko. There we go. I might not have exactly nailed the layout of this outfit, but that's fine. It's a complicated. I've got the pieces in the right spots. I think I know Clip Studio has like a symmetry ruler. I don't know about if it has the other rulers because like I'm still learning it and I don't use it for a majority of my stuff because I am just so bad at it right now. So I should sit down and use it for more things. I just haven't figured out how to like do my workflow in it easily. So, and when it came time to have deadlines for school, I'm like, well, it's faster for me to just work in Photoshop. But I do tend to take files in to do like flat colors and backgrounds at least. I haven't animated in Clip Studio yet, just because I haven't had time to animate. I want to play around with it over the summer, and the fact that it, like, lets you do 24 FPS, like, with the pro version means it might, like, tops. It might be good enough to do some of my effects animations in for my thesis. But since Photoshop can animate, and I already have, like, good plugins for it, which I might actually need to reinstall. But I should play around with that, because I'm gonna definitely be animating on stream at some point over the summer. I just don't know exactly when. I think the bulk of the beginning of the summer is going to be modeling, because that's like the hard thing for me. So I want to have as much time as I can for it. Ooh, yeah. I mean, if you haven't, like, animated before, then I feel like it's a learning curve no matter what. but yeah. I mean, that's one way to do it. I can't judge you because I've had to do like some dumb things with GIFs. Because like I would make like animated things for Art Fight and I would have to compress them down to be absurdly tiny. But yeah. I'm hoping I have enough time to do Art Fight this year. Alright, let's do this. I don't wanna. So. Actions. Line art. Outline. There we go. I have no idea what old animation is like in Photoshop. I've never tried. I just know that Photoshop animation is terribly janky anyway. Ah, goodness, it's not really the best software to animate in, honestly. Yeah, I don't want to draw those laces. I'll take this into Clip Studio. Yeah! Yeah, I feel bad because like last year I only did like 12 attacks for Art Fight. I was like, no! But like, seeing as I've made my server's art events overlap with Art Fight, and like, I think Estrolos looks like it's doing something. I saw Luz made some sort of a channel, but I don't know if that's public yet. Oh, I minimized Twitch. That's why I had no idea if there's like stream stats or anything, but that's fine. Honestly, I have no idea what my stream stats even look like. Yeah, I don't know how I did it, but I think the first year I participated, I did like 30 attacks or something. That was like when I was still in high school though, so I didn't have to like do work all the time to get like things done. The only thing I had to worry about was showing up to my job on time, and that was being a character artist, so I just had practice to draw anyway. I don't know how I did 30. It's ridiculous. I will say I do try to participate at least a little bit because I've met some really awesome people through it. Oh! Hi, Atomic! Yay! I don't mind if you just lurk. That's fine with me. That's what I'd do if I was watching a stream. I did. I know I had like that art program on my DS, but I don't think I did Art Fight attacks on my DS. Because I couldn't get like the reference files brought over because like it's just drawing entirely new characters, so. Look, there was a drawing software for the 3DS, and it was like $12, and it was my first ever screen tablet, basically, so. That's good. Done. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's like, that was like before the iPad and Procreate were even a thing for doing art. Every once in a while I think like, oh, I should get an iPad and Procreate so that I can get things done, and then I remember that it's owned by Apple and I absolutely refuse. I'm not buying things from Apple. Especially because like their newest computers, they just friggin' like removed the HDMI cables. They were like, oh yeah, you gotta go put it in through a lightning adapter now. What? Yeah, I don't think I've never tried to draw on an iPad. Since we're probably going to be back in person in the fall, I could probably ask one of my classmates if I wanted to try it out. Because I know one of my friends has one. And like they work in Procreate all the time. But I just don't want to learn another software. I already have to learn Clip Studio, and I'm already learning how to model in Maya, so. Not too far. Sorry, I'm rotating the canvas around like a mad woman. Let's get Clip Studio open. And launch Paint. I've never used it, so I can't like say if it feels normal. But like I see some of the stuff it has, and it looks like it has really nice smoothing and like a good fill tool, but otherwise I'm just like, it seems weird. Let's close that. That can be closed. I don't know why that's open. Close that. Paint, yes. Don't mind me, you're gonna see some files. Patreon. Art. April. I haven't started May's art yet. I have to figure out what I'm doing, because y'all voted for me to draw Avatar fan art. Why did I put that in the sketch commission folder? Oh man, like I know some people just absolutely swear by the iPad. It's really interesting. Oh, that's that lower tail. Let me merge that down. That shoelace brush. Yes. Never will I ever have to draw laces again. Yeah, that's fine. Let's make it a little taller. Oh god, that's not. I don't know why I erased it. I did it fine the first time. Just go like that till that ends, and I can make that bigger. Yes, save that. Then I'm gonna get my perspective warping done in Photoshop. There we go. Back on its own layer. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I saw that Clip Studio had a shoelace brush, and that was one of the selling points for me, because I just hate drawing shoelaces and bricks. They are some of my least favorite things to draw. Now, let me open this back up, so I can see my ref. totally fine. Magic eraser, no more. No more white. There we go. Set that to multiply in case there's any left around the edges. Now we just erase through. I've still never tried Psy. I should one day. Especially because, like, I see how many people use it. It might be handy for me to know it. I'm just a weirdo who's always had access to Photoshop. As weird as that sounds, I don't know how things worked out like that, but I just, you know, I learned it in high school for tech stuff, and then I've had it for college, so I don't know what I'm gonna do for video editing after college. Especially because I'll also lose my Adobe Spark stuff. This music got, like, so chill. I don't want to be this chill. Oh god, that's because this is the depressing song from this game. Here we go, let's skip to this. Cool, there's that. Let's do this. Forgot that I can do that to curve it. A fool. Yes. Do this. It's a little janky of a way of doing it, but there we go. That's fair. The fact that I've been like learning Photoshop since high school and been able to just casually use it because I had a bootleg copy when in like elementary school. Someone gave me their old laptop and it had like CS5 on it. So the fact that I learned like all of it for photo manipulation is probably why I'm so comfortable using it. Because, like, even in school, like, even in college right now, if, like, one of my friends is trying to do something in Photoshop and doesn't know how, I usually have, like, a method or know the terms to look it up for them. Oh, I should have drawn those lines first. Just outline. White in top. I don't know why I'm working like this. This is like the workflow as if you screwed something up in an animatic and need to like paint over it. Alright, there we go. And magic eraser. No, wrong one. There we go. multiply. And then normal eraser. I question my own methods because sometimes I get halfway through a project and realize I set up the file wrong and made my life way harder for myself. Cough cough, my first project for environment and prop design where I sketched and painted everything. I sketched everything on the same layer instead of like descending into the background from like foreground, midground to background, and that made things horrible later when I got told 10 weeks in that I messed up the perspective. I had to basically like saw my own drawing apart. It was bad. But there we go. Laces drawn, line art done. Alright, let's go back into CSP because it's flat time. Why did I... Oh, I didn't completely paint. Just open the wrong one. Alright, who felt the need to pingeth me? Oh. Oh, I see who hath pingeth me. Scarlet, if you're gonna... I'm calling you out right here on stream. If you're gonna give me art crit, just do it here in the chat. Lacings would have one side coming from under the eyelet. Yes, the lacings technically would have one side coming from under the eyelet, but I don't care because laces are a nightmare to draw. And this is how the brush is set up, and I didn't make it. There we go. I'm sorry if I sounded so grumpy there all of a sudden. They're just like, no. I am not fixing it. Alright. I wish I knew how to open a second instance of... Actually... Oh! Yeah. Oh! There we go. Yeah, details are a bitch. I appreciate you pointing that out. And, like, I already know, like, a lot of costuming stuff just from being around so many people who sews, but... Yeah. It's a case of it's not an important part of the drawing. As long as it's like, yes, there are laces there and they register as correct, that's fine with me. Keiko, you know, Clip Studio, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Is there a way to open a second instance of the same drawing so that I can, like, have it in another window and zoom in to color pick from it? Or do I just have to open, like, all my references in the same thing? Oh, it is. Never mind. I just answered my own question. I didn't. Oh, and my VTuber froze. That's fine. Shh. Shh. There we go. I'll fix that in a second. Whoa. This is magical. Hell yeah. Sleep well, Scarlet. Yeah, I know you're probably up all night. Wow. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted, and now I know Clip Studio can do this, and that's magical. Hell yeah. I'm turning this back up to high quality for my tracking, because it kept being all weird. Yes! Yes! I am all powerful! No one can stop me now. Oh. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna turn close gap down because this is pretty clean. And then I forgot to do the lines on the chest there. Merge those. Black. I need to figure out what button is the reset, like my thingy's button. Go. There we go. Okay. Now that's good and fine. Yay! I'm so glad. I'm so glad to know that Clip Studio has this feature. I don't know if CSP will do it, but part of how I learned it for Photoshop is you can actually open a second instance and change the view mode to be whatchamacallit? You can change it to be in grayscale so that you can basically look at the value painting of your drawing while working in color. So that's how I learned about it. I forgot to grab the reference of this that had. Oh well, I can hop into that later. Give me the colors. Okay, use that. Oh, I forgot I did that because you technically wouldn't be able to really see it. Not without having a bajillion janky lines there. I feel like I had sketched that hand in. Yeah, I'm gonna check my model really quick. Okay, you would be able, there would be a hand there. That looks janky though, so I'm just gonna be like, yeah, that's fine. Cool. Yeah, and I think that's part of why I don't think I'll be able to fully switch to Clip, because I use stuff like gradient maps all the time. I'd like live off of those to correct my drawings by the end. And it's not like I usually have my color like terribly off, but I still like to fine tune it. They go in with levels and everything. Why did I do that? There we go. I'm realizing now I forgot to erase out some of these lines. That such is life in the old country. There we go. Yeah, cool. Alrighty. I'm debating because we've been streaming for just over an hour. I'm not sure if I want to take a quick break to get up and stretch and maybe get some tea. It's very limited buttons. Tablet is crud. It probably does have gradient maps, but I don't know. The color sliders is fair too. I use that a lot. Like, especially if I need to iterate on the colors. What color are these laces supposed to be? They're just like indicated that they're there but not drawn. I wish Link was here so I could be like, Link, help me. But alas, how am I gonna select that color? How am I gonna select that itty bitty color? Apparently like this. Yeah. Yeah, I might just go with whatever the, like, purple color they are up here. That would look nicer light, so that's what we're doing. Turn close gap down. Stop that. Turn close gap down. Stop that. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, I really bonked this. Oh, I really bonked this. You know what? I'm just gonna... No, that should go over there. That's the fastest way I can fix that. Okay, hold up. Alrighty. See ya, Atomic. Yeah! And, yeah, have fun with your kiddo, Keiko. I know y'all are all prudent about yelling at me to take breaks now that I janked my wrist. Yes, save this. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm going to see that my VTuber's broken again. I'm gonna take a few minute break. Let's go with 3 because that's a normal ad roll time. And yeah. So intermission. There we go. And mute my mic while I walk away to go to the bathroom and make tea. Aha! Ooh. Yeah. There was no tea, like hot tea ready, so I got iced tea instead. Also, I got tired of the Going Under soundtrack, so we've switched to no copyright lo-fi. Because apparently that exists. Let's get back to streaming. That's the button. Yeah, that's the button. I didn't start up my VTuber again, actually. I should probably watch more people who have VTubers for streams to figure out how they do it, but I'm also like, I just don't want to show my real face, but still want to interact with people. So. Start. Yes, I exist now. Ha ha ha. Yes, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Go back to streaming. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Alright, I janked this right the hell up, so let me quickly fix it. This fine. Still works for the neck. But this all should connect down here. Would there be collarbone there? Could be at least a little bit of collarbone. Okay, now that's correct. Did I completely close paint? I did completely close paint. I'm a fool. Oh, come on, paint. Here we go. Oh, yeah. That's the one that I use, because it's free. I can get a link to it in chat, but I think you found it, actually. I literally made mine with VRroid. I think I imported the thing with the horns, because I don't know how to make the horns. And I imported the outfit. But everything else I made, like, myself in VRroid. And then that sets it up ready to go. And then the software, yeah, is free. Yeah, it's a free program. It's actually aimed more for artists to do like anime style 3D models, but you can do a whole bunch of different art styles with it since it lets you like paint directly on the model. I might have it installed and boot it up really quick. Oh, I got the folder. Okay, what? I think I have it installed via Steam and I don't feel like booting up Steam. But yeah, I did my VTuber 100% for free. It did mean I had to go with 3D for it, but that's fine. Once I get the hang of doing modeling, I'm probably going to just like do my own like completely fresh model. Oh man, I love not knowing my own stream delay. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay. This is correct now. Canvas. New window. Yeah. Zoom on in, please. No, zoom in over here, please. That's what I've done. Oh no, it's actually running off of my laptop. Yeah, I'm doing this entire freaking stream from my laptop. It's redonk. My laptop hates the fact that I have a drawing tablet and another monitor connected via, USB, but I don't care. I'm doing it. I'm gonna say. There we go. That'll probably bite me in the butt later when I want to color my line art, but that's fine for now. Yeah, this laptop is a kind of meaty one. It's the one that they recommended for school. It's a Dell G7. I can barely fit it in my backpack, honestly. I'm using VC Face for my tracking. The site looks really janky, but I swear it's legit. I don't know why the site looks hella sus, but that's just... It works. It works, it's free, it hasn't done anything weird to my computer. And, yeah. I have, like, the El Cheapo set up for my VTuber. The expression tracking, like the automatic expression tracking, is experimental, but like I'm using it and it honestly works pretty fine, so. It's like sometimes my VTuber just gets real sad or real angry for no reason, but yeah. Yeah! Yeah, VC does its own tracking. That's weird that it needs an app. Huh? Maybe they like updated it and I have an old version that doesn't need it. If it turns out it does, I can like toss you the file for it. Because it's just like an exe. Okay, now to just get this boy colored. Oh, I need close gap back on. Doesn't look like it was the color. Okay, that was the color. Weird. Oh! That's weird. I think that's if you were gonna use your iPhone with it? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just like, oh, you can use your iPhone with it, because I think some people just do their whole, like, VTuber stream from the iPhone. Which is insane. But it works, so I'm not gonna judge people. Also, bless myself for putting the arm that doesn't have all the watches all over it. Like, towards the camera. So I don't have to draw those. palette on this boy is so nice. I think this is like the third time I've drawn Link's Sona OC. I like his color palette. Oh no. Oh no, fill gap. Oh, I'm a fool. Oh, that's a design pencil. Oh, there we go. There's the G pen. Oh, Clip Studio. It's not. Okay, there we go. That functions. Yup. Yup, you know, this is the Kingdom Hearts OC because of that. I honestly, as like silly as it looks when I don't know what to do with a character, I do just put more belts on it. That happened with Atomic's D&D Estrolos. I didn't know what to do, so I just put a bunch of belts on it, and I think there's like 12 belts on that character. There's so many VTuber apps on the iPhone. Oh my. Oh my. People really are streaming from their iPhone, huh? Light enough that we can use it. I think it's too dark for teeth. It's a little dark. There we go. That was no, redo that. Yeah. There we go. Alright, I just gotta do the tails now, and then I'll go in and add the detail. Okay, these are gonna be easier to do with a soft brush. Clipping mask. Cool, yeah, there's all my basics, and then I'll do the complicated stuff here. I'll probably end up I'll definitely finish this before the end of the stream, which is cool, because then I can just check something off my list. Togas! You know, I don't think I have any characters with a toga. I know Atomic's boys have a bunch of togas. You can see them over here in Photoshop. Oh god, you can also see all the Estrolos stuff too. and some paint that I did for fun. Yeah. Okay, window. Workspace, new window for this thing. So I can sample from it. Let's do our plushies. Magic wand. That. Multiply. Big soft brush time. And turn my smoothing off. Maybe I should give some of my characters togas. I'm gonna go really overboard with that blush. It's because I don't normally. Oh no, I need to redo this clipping mask. It included that. No. Don't include the teeth. Okay, There we go. There's no teeth involved now. Thank goodness. Yeah, I tried capturing a specific window. It's just then it doesn't show like my reference file or like I don't know. I don't mind if people see my layers and such. And also since I switch between that and Clip Studio so often, it's like a little janky because the aspect ratio would then change a little bit. I don't know why, but my computer will not pick up like a specific Photoshop window. Or at least like my stream. OBS just displays it as black, so I like capture the whole Photoshop window and then crop it down to here. I don't know, it's just wacky. I tried it, is all I'm trying to say. Oh, is that skin a slightly different tone? Wacky. Oh. Fill that white so it also shows up on the blushy layer. Along the elbow, along the shoulder. Even if characters aren't like particularly blushing, I always go in and put an itty bitty amount on there. Can't help it. I like the little red nose. I usually get the knuckles as well. I don't know why I get the knuckles, I'm just like, oh, there's a joint there. It should be red. That's smart. Keiko, you got big brain. I do not. You've got that sweet big brain. You know how to stream things. I don't want that to be pure white, otherwise I can't put highlights on it. Oh, that's not pure white. Sweet. You have 2 cells, but that's like still more brain cells than me. Sometimes I feel like I should like not stream on Twitch because I barely watch like live streams. But I'm like, whatever. People can just deal with me being an idiot when it comes to how Twitch works. I'll figure it out and they can either enjoy me figuring it out or perish. Okay, cool. Here's that. Skin tone, get that skin tone, and another layer, because it's freckle time. Freckle time. You don't have to go. That doesn't make sense. Also not clear. There we go. That's a lot of freckles everywhere. Okay then. Let me actually yeet the spacing up on this a bit. I mean, like, I get really distracted with making my stream pretty or making, like, any of my notes and whatnot, like, aesthetically pleasing. So, no, don't move that. So, you know. I don't want to put that, like, so, I don't know how to make it, like, look good. I want it to look like blood, or not blood, but dirt spatters. But nah, he just has freckles everywhere. Just do be like that. I don't think this looks too janky. I actually have to update my buttons since I've now ordered my PC. So, here we go. I don't know what, like, my next goal is. I'll figure that out. Right, gradients on this boy's tails. That's what I need to do. On tool. No. On tool. Alright, now big soft brush time. Oh, no, I don't want that. I don't want that in my clipping mask. There we go. There we go. I'll be honest, I just use Adobe Spark for all my graphic design. I know how to do graphic design, I'm just too lazy to actually, like, do it. So, because, like, all the stuff I actually like is slightly more complicated or time-consuming to make. So I just don't. I think that's all the flat colors. I think we can actually start shading now. Yes. Time to shade. Adobe Spark is like their version of Canva, if you've ever heard of that. It's basically like a flyer logo maker. It's like really, really lazy Photoshop. Because it'll just like have templates and presets and things. It's really good for social media graphics. I think a lot of my buttons, like on my Twitch page, are actually modified versions of the overlay template that I downloaded a while back, but I've now like partially phased out. I never updated my intermission to have the background that I wanted. Hey. Oh, that's why, because it has all of my text on it. I need to go in and do that. Oh, that's recording. There we go. Alright, cool. Multiply. Let's do slightly warm shadows. Color. Yeah, there we go. Turn my refs off. Actually close this. Yeah, let's do my other stupid janky thing. Perspective. There we go. Now to choose a light source direction. I could backlight them to cheat and make this really dynamic. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I want it to be slightly from above. Off the brush. Yes! There we go. Okay. Smoothing on. Be most of this area. have too many layers. I don't like it. Delete that now at this point. Yes, there we go. Brush is too big. Brush, why are you so big? Actually, now I don't know if I'm gonna finish this stream, because I've got like a half hour left. Hopefully I can. If I don't, then it's no big deal. It's not like I don't have other stuff to do today. I fell slightly behind on chores because I was slightly lazy yesterday, and I also didn't go to bed on time, so I refused to get out of bed on time today either. So that's my bad though for looking at Bloodborne memes. What the fuck is wrong with you? Just become sad the second I look down. I'm gonna have to recalibrate this. I swear. Did I mention that the automatic expression tracking is automated? Or experimental, not automated. That would be, you know, the automated expression tracking is automated. Yes, go figure. I'd hope it is. That's what it says it is. Why is this music very sad now? The heck? There we go. This song is just called Herb. I eat plants for a living. Oh, hey there, Dead Reaper. Nice to have you here. I'm super happy folks could show up for like my first stream back on the schedule. I feel slightly bad because I'm getting my second COVID shot next week, so it's like Monday's stream I could do it in the afternoon before it kicks in. So, and then Wednesdays probably won't happen, depending on how hard the vaccine hits me, so... yeah. But, alas, that's how it do be. The price for being immune to disease. Oh no! Yeah, I know things are kind of janky in other countries with, like, vaccine supply. I am hoping that they'll, like, get rid of the patent on it, because it's friggin' ridiculous. It's like, half of the adults in the United States are vaccinated, but, like, the rest of the world hasn't, like, gotten to yet. Like, what the hell? Where's the rest of this light coming from? Okay. And yeah, VR is really friggin' nice. And it's free. It's got a little bit of a learning curve, so like definitely look up tutorials for it, especially for hair. But yeah. Also, Dead Reaper, I apologize if your stream notification said I was playing Zelda. I friggin', you know, forgot to update it. I could play more Zelda at some point, but honestly, I'm thinking, because Friday is like my wildcard stream, which will usually be game night, but if I don't feel like playing games, I might just do more art. I re-downloaded Dishonored, because I've been wanting to play that. I've never properly beat it. But I'm also like, ooh, I could play Bloodborne. But I'm also, like, not good enough at Bloodborne yet that I think it would be entertaining to watch. We hand? Let's, come on, hand. Let's put this highlight where I want. Okay. Also, yeah, I'm back to my stream schedule, and the first thing I'm doing is drawing like two gay Kingdom Hearts OCs for someone, and one of them's a cat boy. I have actually never played Pokemon Snap. I have no shame about emulation, so I mean, if I get I could get a ROM for it, so. Ooh, yeah! Yeah, get Blender so you can learn to make buildings. It's honestly not too terribly hard, and I'll be modeling over the summer, so, I mean, you might be able to pick up, like, some of the basics from watching me. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to look up at chat for a second. But yeah, I'll be working in Maya mostly to model. But the softwares are pretty similar in terms of like hold shift to extrude things. So my stuff will probably be aimed at game making, just because that's what I want to go into. So even though I'm making a short film, I should, like, I'm learning the workflow for modeling for games. Because my thesis is a trailer for a game. Yeah, I haven't even played original Pokemon Snap. I think the last video game that I bought, like, on release was Death Stranding. So, yeah. I rarely ever buy games right when they come out. It's just not in my budget, but that's okay. Ooh, that's awesome! I'm glad you found a good Blender tutorial. I've heard it's got a pretty steep learning curve, so that's definitely good. Finding a good tutorial is like half the battle. So I know that's part of why I didn't know how to use Maya for modeling. It's just nobody threw a tutorial at me. Also, bless our professors when we're like, dude, we're supposed to model everything, and we've had one dedicated modeling class and pretty much all of us were bad at it. And we've had nothing for rigging. What do y'all want from us? And they were just like, oh yeah, you can just do like all of Zebra's functions in Maya. It's like, why did nobody tell us? Why did nobody tell us that you can learn rigging in a day? That's fair. I mean, like, there's some games where I'll go. I have like a benchmark for myself where I know if I'll get at least like 8 hours out of it, then it's worth it for me. So, be it like playing through the story or just getting that. Yeah. I found that like ZBrush's official tutorials weren't too bad, but like most of Autodesk's stuff for Maya is honestly effing useless. We actually started a Google Doc in my class, like our graduating year. We have a Google Doc called Maya for Dummies that tells you everything you need to know for like project setup and whatnot. And like how to install Tween Machine, because of course the only way to get to the directions for installing Tween Machine are through, you know, Windows, but most people have MacBooks in class. So, just because the school only recently started allowing Windows computers. Go. Yeah, that doc has honestly saved my butt anytime I need to go back to it, because, like, now that I'm in, like, after... Last fall was the last time I had a dedicated computer animation. Excuse me. Oh. No! No! Oh, my VTuber got so shocked. Oh. That expression got so big. But no, I mean, I'm already going to like a pretty cheap art school, so I'm not gonna make money off the other students. That's so mean. I wouldn't do that to them. Oh, I missed a spot in my flat colors. No! So gonna re-clip the shading to it. Damn it! There we go. Put that there. And there. There we go. Keiko, you sound like Cal with like, oh, just make money off of that. You sound like your least favorite grandchild. Okay, have fun with whatever you're up to. Oh god! Oh, the cat just like busted in. Oh, I think she wants to go downstairs. One sec. Okay then. There we go. Alright, cool. There we are. Alright. Sorry about that. The cat, like, busted in because she wants... the door to, like, downstairs was closed. So she, like, busted into my room. Which is valid. I was just like, oh god, what's that thunk? What was this about your least favorite grandchild? I don't know, you were just like, oh, we'll just make money off of the underclassmen. You sounded like Cal there. It feels like something Cal would do. Oh no! Oh no! The least favorite grandchild lore thickens. But you're soft Grandma Keiko. You could not be a meanie like Cal. Low-key, when I first joined the Estrollo staff, which I was like the third person on the server, I was so intimidated by Cal. I don't know why. I was like, oh god, this artist is really good and Ooze is cool. But then I heard Cal's voice, and they were just a soft bean. Sketch layer, I don't need that. I know technically there wouldn't be highlights on this edge, but I want highlights on this edge, so that's what we're doing. And maybe it would have been faster for me to just, like, top light this and keep it normal. But I need to make everything dynamic and dramatic. This is like a cute little smooch, so I have to. I'm so glad I'm not the only person. Goodness. Yeah, I'm just like, it's bounce light, guys. It's not me wanting to make everything overly dramatic and nice. It's bounce light. Man, this light source does not make sense. Oh, I'm not going to stress over it too much. That's what I get for picking something weird. I've been doing so much stuff with, like, really weird angles for my light. I feel like I'm also at least a little easily intimidated. I don't know, I'd never met a person until I met Cal that actually, like, intimidated me. I don't know how. There's that. I mean, I don't know why, I just get really into lighting things. Because I think, like, without the lighting, this just doesn't look good. At least to me. So I'm just like, no. Dynamic shade everything. Do need to put more highlights on here, though. What's bad is this is, like, only my first pass at the shading. And oh god, I've only got, like, 3 minutes left on the stream. Oh no! No, I want to finish this first pass. I want to finish the first pass of shading, because I'm, like, almost done. And that's what I get for getting so focused in on it. I'm gonna finish the first pass of shading. Same left or right corner. That's fair. I mean, I don't know how to do non-dynamic shading, I feel like, at this point. I'm just like, wait, you can just put some shadows under things and call it a day? People do that? Weird. I think I just got really spoiled by the Geralt piece that I did, where I made the light source his magic, which was, like, right in front of him. So it was like his legs were top lit, but his chest was, like, slightly under, but then the rest of his face was, like, under. The arm was lit from the side. It was so goofy. And then the hair was lit from under, because it was, like, flowing everywhere. I went a little too ham on that drawing, but I'm still really proud of how it turned out. Also, I can't help it when I have to draw hot boys. I've just accepted that that's kind of just part of how I draw now. Is hot boys. No. Wait a minute. I could just select the tails. Yes. There we go. Now no one shall jank up my drawings. Wait a minute, I'm the only one working on my drawings. I would be the only one to jank up my drawings. Oh god. Okay, there's that. Did that, it's just so dang dark up there that it's just hard to see. Okay, I need to edge light back of this arm. Then I'm going to do that so you can tell it apart. Pop it out. To get this in and none of the rest of the corset because that would be a nightmare. I don't know if that's actually a corset, it just looks like a corset, so that's what I'm doing. I gotta do dynamic lighting and Hot Boys. That's how it goes. People used to say my art style was real cute, and then I was like, I can't have that. Why did I shade like this? What the hell is this? How shade that in? That doesn't make sense. Okay. I think my lo-fi ended. Oh no, my lo-fi ended. There's some more lo-fi. Alright. Now, are we ready to get real fancy? Duplicate, filter, blur. Gaussian blur. Time to become anime! Too much Gaussian blur. And now we reduce both of those. So both too dark. I did like those like up way higher. Why is it on the other side of the forearm and not the back of his arm? Isn't the light? The light is behind the cat boy. Oh shoot, yeah, he should. Damn it, I am losing it. Oh, because it's supposed to be... Oh, it's like slightly more above. That's... I'll sneak a teensy bit in, just to make sure. Little underlighting, just to be a little non-committal. There we go. That also works to pop that out nicely. I didn't do the edge of his face at all. God damn it. I just really wanted to finish. Got really into wanting to have this done. Ooh. Oh, that's weird. It's not correct. No, I don't like those lips there. No. Okay. Okay. Yeah, not only did I make it dynamic, I also made it a weird angle. I cannot help myself whatsoever. Now we Gaussian blur. Yes. Now we do something even sillier. No, don't replace the layer mask. Delete that. Apply it though. No, I wanted that to be filled black. Cool. Big soft brush. Size way bigger. Let's just gradient it up. We'll do that because the two are kind of close together. It's a little bit of Just kind of do like this kind of shading until it looks good, honestly. It's still got the... Turn those shape dynamics off. You stop that. That's why it looked weird. I don't like how that's looking with this, though. Alright, I don't know what I did, but... Oh, I just warmed it up. That's why it looked okay. Oh, well, there's that. A little bit of overlay. I think I usually make that yellowy color. Yeah, there we go. That'll look good. Now it's itty bitty bit of hair highlight time. Man, I really did make this weird with the shading. I don't think I like that. I'm gonna turn that off for now. Oh no, we're getting to the point of the drawing where I'm like getting really self-conscious about it. It's time to just finish it. Finish it and don't think about it. YouTuber, don't look sad. Why do you look sad? Stop that. Reset that position. There. Don't be a weirdo. The highlights in and go. Zoom. Okay, and now we do the ultimate cheat to make it good. Color dodge. No one will ever know. Why does it feel like smoothing's still on? I'm gonna turn this completely off. Hey, Photoshop. Where did you put... Photoshop, where is this? Photoshop? What you doing? Yeah, alright. We're gonna force quit Photoshop really quick because it's being a pain in the butt head. Just close it. Just close it completely. Gato, why are you going? Open this back up. Oh hey, you get to look at my Castlevania wallpaper. Do. Well, Photoshop boots back up. Oh, the new season's in 3 days, and I have to wait till Friday to watch it with my partner, because he'll fight me if I watch it without him. Come on, Photoshop. Let's go. There we go. Got Lazy Nizumi. Got Photoshop. Come on. No, you stop that. You can't. That doesn't exist. Stop that, Lee. Alright. Color dodge layer? Are we... Well, we were on the eraser, that's why that didn't work. Photoshop? Why are you not drawing? Oh, because the color is really dark. That wouldn't do it with color dodge. Oh, something's getting incorrectly calibrated. I know what's up. Okay, I need Lazy Nizumi on, because I forgot my drawing tablet does not like that I have 3 monitors hooked up. Or at least Photoshop doesn't know how to understand that. And it makes it very unhappy. Tablet issues. There we go. There we go. Alright, this is the secret make it good button. Hey, why do you still have the size thing on? I don't want the size thing on, Photoshop. I said no. I just want it to be solved. There we go. Now this actually looks like a piece of artwork. Oh, that's too much. It's too much. Too much around his booty. That's also too much, but it definitely beats it because it's so dang. There we go. There we go, it's like a dramatic sunset. Yeah. Alright, now... this filter... blur. Gaussian blur. A little bit of blur on my line art. There's that. And I don't know what color we want to make these. Let's just start with a more brown or something. I actually kind of like how that looks in the darker colors. Still gonna be a bit of a bum. Do that. There we go. Cool. Yeah, nice, gentle, suggestive red glow. And this would not be one of my drawings if I didn't put like highlights on it. So get this real tiny. Turn my smoothing back on. Just do a little bit of that. Put some shinies on the lips. That works. Do I want to do it on the hair? I feel like it's weird if I don't do it in a bunch of places. was too messy. I've been like wanting to put highlights on eyelashes because I see so many people do it, but I don't know how to make it look good. So, I'm not going to. Every time I do a drawing, I like try it and think about it, and then I don't. Alrighty. Have a good dinner, Keiko. Sorry I went totally overtime. I just want to finish this. I'm sure you'll see the finished one soon anyway. Okay, I think that works pretty dang well. Let's flip this to there. And I don't remember if I said bye to Keiko. Well, I know I said have a good dinner, but I saw you put another bye in chat, so I'm gonna say bye again. Yeah. I love stream delay where I can't tell what the hell's going on. Alright, this is all art. It's like the whip watermark signature. Turn the whip watermark off. This all goes in a folder. Duplicate, merge. iPads.
Yes, of course.
Overlay. Here we go. That works. Use it just a little. Merge. Get levels. That auto. We'll probably brighten it. What? Did you do nothing? No, it like evened out the tones. Oh, okay. That's fair. Now, let's put a little bit on this too. Add noise. Probably way too much. There we go. That's too much noise. I'm gonna duplicate that so I can put noise over that. And then lower the opacity. There we go. I know barely anyone can see the noise, but I gotta do it. Then gradient map. Purples is like my default one. Soft light. What's that? Hell yeah, look at these colors. They're so warm now. Alright, sweet. So there is that. So yeah, thank you to anybody who came to hang out for the stream. Yeah, I had a real fun time. I'll be back on Wednesday afternoon and be working on Godslayer. So that'll probably be some 3D modeling, something totally different. And then on Friday, it's wildcard game night. So yeah, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.